It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host Ben. Now let's dive in. Bitcoin been choppy since this big sell-off. We did have a nice rebound up, holding above that 45. We're still holding above that 45,000. So as long as we're there, we're good to see it back up to 50. We don't want to see the 10-day cross over the 200. But let's take a look on the daily chart and see how the indicators are looking there. Yeah, so actually on the daily, we're pretty good. The 50-day is also right there at 45,000. Quite a good bit of support. And looking at it on the daily, this looks like we're getting an indecision little doji here. So tomorrow we may see a green bounce off of this 45,000 area. Nice little push back up. Altcoins are still running. We've had Solana breaking over 200. Extremely nice rip. This thing has been going straight up. And at this point, I don't know how high it can go. I mean, every $50, every $25 is probably going to be pretty strong resistance. We ran all the way up to 215, it looks like. Let's go into the 4 hour. Yeah, so 215 is acting as some resistance for now. But this is new highs again. We've continually made new highs. Still building higher lows. We're pretty good ways off of the 200. I mean, I would expect a pullback maybe after hitting these new highs. But it could be a very small pullback. We could build another higher low at the 185, maybe 190 area. And then it push back up again, or 200 might could hold. If we see 200 hold support on this, then it will keep running. Very bullish, looking like it's got some more in it at the moment. Cardano is trying to hold this 235 area support, but it's getting rejected at 250. That 250 we really needed to see it hold as support before, and now that it's turning into resistance, that's a bad sign. And it hasn't rebounded that much since the big sell-off. So I think there's a lot of uncertainty on Cardano right now because of the FUD attack or whatever that they're claiming, and some issues with the contracts. We'll see. It's pretty sketchy, but it is on the 200-day. So if it can hold on the 200-day, we could see it start pushing back up, maybe closer to the time of the contract's release. But at the moment, it is looking pretty bearish. Algorand still running up, breaking out of this triangle of consolidation here, breaking over $2. Pushed all the way up to 215. Let's pull back right now. But another blockchain, this is what I've been saying, this could be a runner like Solana, could go on a pretty nasty run. I don't know if it'll run the 200, but it could run from $1 to maybe $5, something like that, if it keeps up this buying momentum. It does look like $2 is going to be pretty strong resistance, though. So at this point, we got to start holding $2 as support. So we may go sideways for a few days, maybe a little more consolidation if this doesn't continue to explode. CGLD, I am in this again. See, I had this little triangle drawn, but cracking below that triangle, so actually it is a channel, a sloping channel, but we are getting an indecision candle off of this 413 area. So I bought some up here in the 440, 450 area, and then I added some more down here and brought my average down. What I'm looking for is it to bounce off of this, break out of the sloping channel, and run back up to 5. And then we'd probably see some friction there at 5 and go sideways before it makes another big move. Or, I mean, last time, it made a really massive move, and it's sold off quite a bit since then. It could be another big candle like this, so we'll see. But if it drops below this 410 or the $4 area, it's going to sell off some more. Polkadot struggling here with this 28. It was strong resistance before, and it is holding a strong resistance again. The rebound pushed up into it, and then got slammed right back down. It's pushed up into it, and it's getting pushed down again. So if it drops any lower, back down to this 200, it's got to hold that 200-day. But Polkadot's got to get back over 28 in the next day or two if it's going to keep on the bull run it was on. Ethereum looks a little rough on the 4-hour chart. I'm going to go to the daily chart on this one. 3,000 held pretty well as support, and it even pushed back above the 50 and this previous resistance line, so that's showing some pretty good support there. And we're kind of dojiing out right now at the moment at 3,500. If it can start holding above 3,500, we'll see it push back up to 4,000. We got HBR, or as I like to call it, HBAR, that we're going to start covering, requested by one of you great subscribers. And HBAR, from my understanding, I've done a little research on it, but Google is involved with it, so that's why there's some hype surrounding it. On the daily chart, it actually looks pretty bullish. Got a nice uptrend, and it looks like it's just now getting off of the uptrend. You can see where the EMAs are just starting to spread out. But even with that drop yesterday, it's rebounded pretty good here. Back up pushing towards that 35-cent area. A lot of resistance at this 35-cent area. If it breaks through that 35-cent area, I would say it'll probably make a move up to 50 and make a new high there. It could pull all the way back down to the trend line, but this 25 cents will probably hold up pretty good, as that's been some support back through here, and then the 50-day is also right there. So HBAR is looking pretty bullish. It may try to make some new highs here soon. It's looking pretty decent. So Luna struggling with the 50-day here, hitting it and pushing back down. We need to see Luna jump back over this 50-day and start holding above it. The 10-day is below it, so that's a little bearish. We got that support trying to hold right there, but this has got to start getting some movement back up. Mask is one to keep an eye on, as it's back down to this trend line that had ripped off with a massive rip not too long ago. I may look for some entries here on Mask if it can continue to hold up this area, and look for a re-break at 10. It may go a little bit more bearish and come down, test one more time before it starts coming back up. A re-break at $10, and this thing has the potential to rip all the way up to 20. So scrolling through here, there's a lot of coins on the 4-hour that are looking pretty bearish right now. We need to see some buying volume take back over the market, or we may be seeing another leg down in the crypto market. The good thing we got going is Solana and Algorand breaking out, so we still have some heat in the altcoin market, but we don't want to see that heat die off. Yeah, Cosmos Atom bouncing off of that support area very nicely. But Cosmos is one of the ones that's been bullish, and I've been bullish on. You can see that there's some buying strength behind this. People are trying to keep this above $20. A lot of eyes on Cosmos ecosystem right now. So Fetch actually ripped a decent amount last night after I was talking about it in the crypto update, up to that 120 area, but it's had a pretty hard rejection, pulling all the way back to this 85-cent area. So I'm still in it. I bought a lot of my shares around 94 cents, but I'm looking to add, and I have added some at 88 cents, but I'm looking to add some more if it drops down to the 50-day there and really average down, because I think we'll see a bounce off of there. This thing is just starting to get volatile. It's been building up nice and slowly. It's one of those types, so still very bullish even with that pullback. So that's all the coins I'm going to cover for today. We're going to hop into the news real quick. This came out last night, and if you follow me on the Framework Fortune Home channel, I already put a video out on this earlier today when I first seen it, and I was not very happy in that video. But this is bad for cryptos. It's not going to be the end of cryptos or anything, but they're going to be taxing interest, carried interest, which means all the staking, all the liquidity providing. If you got Voyager or any other platforms that pay you interest for holding, they're going to tax it. And they're also doing mark-to-market taxes on all derivatives, which means they can tax you for what's in your account at the end of the year, even if you haven't sold it. It's your unrealized gains that they would be taxing. So they're taxing money that you have not made yet. Because we all know, until you lock it in, until you press the sell button, it's not money in your pocket. It's still money in the market. So they're going to tax you for your money still being in the market. So if you haven't checked this out, go check it out. It's supposed to be, they're trying to put it in the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. If this happens, it's going to be pretty rough. If you want to hear more about it, go to the home channel and listen to that video. I give my full thoughts and what I think would happen if this did come to pass. Hasn't come to pass yet, but I don't know what would stop it at this point. So, appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.